The blue half of Manchester has hit the redemption switch.
I just received words of love, my surround. So, yeah, it's a great feeling, of course. Hello, everyone. Hello. Hello.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
In the last few weeks, the club has been very active in the transfer market. Omar Marmoush from Eintracht Frankfurt for 75 million euros, Abikadir Kusanov from RC Lens for 40 million euros, and Victor Reis from Palmeiras for 37 million euros. Each with different profiles and personas, but each with the same agenda: to kickstart the new era under Pep Guardiola. It's no secret that Manchester City has been struggling. The defeat to PSG was yet another blip in what has so far been a very disappointing season for Pep and his City team. The first time they've lost a game after scoring 2 goals or more, and now they have to win against Club Brugge to even make it to the knockout stages of the Champions League. Anything other than that, and they're out. So, what's the reason for this bad run from City? I'll tell you in a bit, but first, see that subscribe button to Kicks with Seb? Click it so you never miss any of the channel's action.
You want the solution, give me my players back and we will do it. But it's not possible right now. I don't think it's going to happen for a long time, and because we recovered last week 4 central defenders, but they pass the table massage to the pitch, and after the pitch go to the table massage again. So normally after table massage you need a tempo, the training a little bit, but the circumstances that we have we could not do it, and we demand him a lot because they come for many years, arriving in the last stages, no competition, so the rest is few, and at the end there is a moment.
Pep Guardiola has been very clear. He knows how good his City team can be if he has his players back. Injuries have dealt City a huge blow this season, losing star names like Rodri and John Stones, and Pep is tired of having to play makeshifts in these key positions, which is why he's gone into the transfer market and has been very active. The obvious name that stands out is this guy.
Omar, many congratulations and welcome to Manchester City. Can you sum up how excited you are to join this football club?
First of all, thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure being here. I'm really excited. I can't wait to get on the pitch, meet the teammates and start my journey with the club.
Manchester City's new Egyptian prince, Omar Marmoush. Marmoush has been on a tear this season. He's got 20 goals and 14 assists in 26 matches across all competitions for Frankfurt this season, already breaking his previous tally of 17 from the season before. That's red-hot form. And this in turn has transformed the Egyptian into a player Manchester City immediately identified with. So how exactly does Omar Marmoush fit into this City team? The most obvious one has to be the goals. He's a goal threat, and he's the one that, looking at the current team, Manchester City needs. Phil Foden may have picked up his form in the last couple of weeks, but it takes nothing away from the fact that he's had a very poor start to the season. Take away Erling Haaland from that front line, and there isn't much in there. After Haaland with 17, the closest person to him in terms of goals is Phil Foden with 6. Third on the list, Joško Vardiol and Mateo Kovacic. Joško Vardiol is a centre-back. This just paints the picture of what Manchester City has had to deal with this season. There's been a cry for goals, but the players in the team now, the likes of Jeremy Doku, Jack Grealish and Savino, all have failed to be as productive as you expect them to be in that department. Even İlkay Gündoğan, who was lauded for his goals in his first stint with the club, has sort of dried out. Omar Marmoush brings a fresh spark.
City is one of the biggest clubs in the world. It's an honor to be here. I can't wait. The whole journey I made, I always dreamt of being in a club like this.
Going to Manchester City.
On the pitch, I'm fast, good on the ball, I'm dangerous. I feel comfortable in all positions, and wherever I play, I will always try to give my all to help the team. I'm proud to be Egyptian. Showing what my country has, representing my country here in a club like this was something I always dreamt of.
You can hear it in his words. On the pitch, he's fast, good on the ball, and dangerous. He's not just saying these things, he's classifying his game quite accurately. When he's on the ball, he's as fast as it gets. Not necessarily in terms of speed, but the ability to perform decisive actions in real time. He's a very efficient dribbler too. He ranks high in the Bundesliga for dribbles attempted and completed this season, 98th percentile and 97th percentile respectively. Add this to his ability to play anywhere across the front three, and Omar Marmoush has become an ideal asset for Manchester City already. already. Now, there's been an argument over the years about Bundesliga tax, and Frankfurt in particular. Players like Luka Jovic and Sebastian Haller, who were both scoring goals for the club, earning big moves. Jovic to Real Madrid and Haller to West Ham, and both failed to replicate that form. It's also worth pointing out that Erling Haaland, Manchester City's top scorer ever since he came to the Premier League, was signed from the Bundesliga, and on the part of Manchester City, the club takes a lot of detail into account when recruiting players. The point with this is that Umar Marmoush for Manchester City would have been a player they've been looking at for a considerable while now, weighing up his profile, seeing if he fits into the club, and with the fee they've paid him, it certainly does. They spent 70 million on a player in January, and this tells you two things. Either Pep Guardiola is desperate to boost his attacking options, or Omar Marmoush ticks all the boxes in City's checklist. My guess is it's both. Omar Marmoush, or the attacking phase of play, isn't the only area Manchester City has attempted to improve on this transfer window. Moving from the top end of the pitch to the other end, they've got reinforcements too. Let's start with Kusanov, the first Uzbekistani-born player to play in the Premier League. He isn't just here for this piece of history, he's here to make an impression as well. So what does Kusanov bring to this Manchester City team then? To start with, this kid is a rock. Clips of him going for crunch tackles like this shows just how much he loves defending. Looking at some of his defense actions this season, he's got 23 interceptions in the league this season, which ranks him in the 98th percentile in that category. And speaking ranks, we're trying to up Kicks with Seb to a wider audience, so they too can enjoy the type of content you're watching now. And you can help us do this by hitting that subscribe button and liking the video. Back to Kusanov now. He's got 56 clearances in the Bundesliga, ranked high in the 96th percentile as well. 12 shots blocked in the league at a rate of 1.11 per 90, which ranks him in the 98th percentile. Bringing up these defensive actions to show again that this kid loves defending. That's one aspect of his game that will be valuable to this Manchester City team. The other one, his speed. He's very fast. And for Pep Guardiola, this is just what he's looking for, because it represents a possible solution to the problem he's been trying to fix for over a year now. This would never have happened at the peak of his powers, but I guess it's safe to say that Kyle Walker is past it now. By the time this video gets out, he should be unveiled as a new AC Milan signing on loan from City, and in the context of his former club, it creates a huge problem they'll need to fix. A huge part of the reason Manchester City could play such expansive football under Pep is because they knew on the occasion of a counter-attack from the opposition, they've got a player like Kyle Walker to stop this. Kyle Walker has lost half that yard pace that used to make him so valuable to Pep's team. But with Kusanov, with his pace, there's a possibility that he could develop to be even faster and, in itself, present a solution to Pep's problem. Kusanov is the first of City's defensive signings this season. The second, he's a 19-year-old Brazilian gem. Victor Reis from Palmeiras. If Kusanov is the brutal, hard-tackling defender City has just acquired, Victor Reis is the opposite. He's calm and composed on the ball. He's also a very good aerial solution. That's one area of the pitch where City has looked vulnerable. It was evident in the match against PSG.
Coutinho's ball in. Oh, he's a mark! João Neves!
João Neves scores a free header at the back post because no one tracks the aerial delivery properly. At 18, there's a lot of time and room for Reis to develop, but there are promising signs to show that this kid can be worth more in the future. He's already had a big moment for Palmeiras, scored in the win against Corinthians, one of the traditional big teams in Brazil's top flight, and helped keep a clean sheet as well. He's naturally a centre-back, but he can play at the right wing as well. That's extra versatility for Pep if he decides to go down that route, which we will get to later on. Another thing that stands out about Victor Reis' game is that despite still being young, He's a leader. It shows how vocal he is and his communication skills. He rarely gets caught out of position too. It's as if the kid has a sixth sense of knowing where to be and spotting the danger before it happens. Then again, he's very comfortable on the ball. This may not have shown at Palmeiras that much because of how he's been told to play and is trying to keep his spot in the team, but with the expansive football Manchester City play, you can expect him to unlock this side of his game. So we've been through all three new signings for City, different profiles and players. But what's the one thing they've got in common apart from signing for Manchester City now? Him, Pep. As we've seen over the years, Pep Guardiola is a tactical genius. What he's done for the sport and players like the ones they've signed now is to take them from promising prospects to become the best versions of players he knows they can be. This in turn means that what we know about these guys might not be what it turns out to be when they start playing under Pep. Take for instance players like Kusanov and Reis. We saw him do it to Joško Vardiol and took him to the left back shot, and Vardiol has been performing in that position ever since. Same with John Stones, a centre back who was once in the conversation of being one of the best holding midfielders in the country at the time, due to how well Pep had used him in that position. All three signings have a key aspect of their game too, versatility. As we've highlighted with Omar Marmoush, he can play anywhere across the front three, and can even play as an 8 in the midfield. Kusanov is a centre back who can play as a holding midfielder. Reis is a centre back who can play as a right back. These are young players who represent an idea of what Pep Guardiola is trying to build for the future. It'll be too early to call them straightaway solutions, but the idea is visible. The Manchester City rebuild has begun. Pep understands the position the club is in now, and understands just how much squad depth and strength he needs to see out the season, which is why, rather than wait for the summer, they've been active from the get-go in the market. What do you guys think though? Pep and his team are desperate for solutions and have made the wrong moves? Or will they work out? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like the video.